living in Italy after 8 years in the UK. In-depth first impression. After 8 years of living the fast-paced life in the UK, moving back to Italy has been a total culture shock. From the bureaucracy to the slower pace of life, everything feels different. But there is also so much beauty here. So let me take you through my first impression and share what it's really like to live in Italy after so long away. First thing first, let's talk about the cultural difference. In the UK, everything was incredibly organized, convenient and fast. You could manage practically anything with an app, whether it was booking a taxi, ordering food, paying bills, or even handling public services. Things just worked efficiently with a few clicks on your phone. But coming back in Italy felt like stepping into a completely different world. Technology isn't as integrated into daily life, and so many tasks require more time and effort to get done. Sometimes it seems like it could take forever. That said, Italy is also a place of immense beauty and richness. It's the land of incredible food, rich culture, and world-class history. The art, the monuments, the centuries-old architecture, it's all part of what makes Italy so special. The lifestyle here is all about slow living, savoring every moment and enjoying the simple pleasure, like a long family lunch on a Sunday with fresh ingredients or a stroll through stunning landscapes. And of course, the scenery here is breathtaking, from the rolling hills of Tuscany to the crystal clear waters along the coast. But before you pack your bags and move to Italy, whether it's for a short stay or long term, there are a few things you need to consider. This is just my personal impression after moving back here following 8 years in the UK. Life here is beautiful, but it's also different from the fast-paced, high-efficient world I was used to in London, and that adjustment can come with a list of own set of challenges. For example, in the UK, shops are pretty much open all day, every day, and they close late. Sometimes they're open until midnight. Well, in Italy, many shops close between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. for a long lunch break, and sometimes they close again around 8 or 9 p.m. So if you've got errands to run, you have to time it perfectly, or you will find yourself standing in front of a closed shop, frustrated. Trust me, it happened to me so many times that I would like to admit since moving back. Let's talk about restaurants. I thought I had all figured out, but no. Italian restaurants often close after lunch around 3 p.m. and they reopen for dinner at 7 or 8 p.m. sometimes later. Yes, this happens tourist area too. It's important to check the opening hour on Google before making any plans, because showing up for dinner at 6 p.m. will get you nothing but a close sign most of the time. It's not like the UK where you can grab food anywhere between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. and sometimes even later than that. So meal planning has been a bit of a challenge, especially when you are out for the day, but yeah, you can do it. One thing that caught me off guard is that people in Italy stare a lot. It's not rude here, it's more like curiosity, I guess. People are very expressive and will look at you with no shame. In the UK, people tend to mind their own business, but here you will definitely get some looks. I just don't care, but it happens quite often. Some not so great things about living in Italy. So let's get into some of the cons, because like any place, Italy has its challenges. For starts, Italians do not know how to queue at all. Coming from the UK, where queuing is practically a national sport, this was a huge adjustment. In Italy, it is more like a crowd forms and people just push their way through the front. No one seems to mind cutting in line, and it can get pretty chaotic, especially in public places or busy markets. The post office here is not like the UK. They have Poste Italiane, which offers services like shipping, electricity and gas bills, insurance and more. The Italian postal service is notoriously slow. You can end up waiting forever, and customer service can be rude compared to what you get in the UK. Public transportation is another major downside. If you're used to Uber or decent public transport, Italy might disappoint you. There is no Uber here. Taxis are expensive, you have to call a number for one. Buses can be unreliable, especially in smaller towns. Sometimes buses, they just don't show up or they run super late. If you're planning on staying in Italy for a while, you will probably need to get a car or try to use trains instead where possible. If you decide to stay in Italy for a while and you wish to buy a car, be aware that used car prices in Italy are much more higher than the UK. The driving culture itself is pretty wild. In southern Italy, for example, people hardly even stop at pedestrian crossing. You really have to be careful when you're walking, especially when crossing the road, because most drivers ignore pedestrian crossing and keep speeding through them. No joke. If you're not an EU citizen and planning to stay in Italy long term, I would suggest getting a lawyer to navigate a complex bureaucracy. Trust me, the paperwork here is overwhelming. Yeah. We often find yourself going to one office to be sent to another, and maybe even a third just to get one thing sorted. And another thing, finding a decent job in south of Italy can be tough. Unless you already have a remote job lined up, it's a challenge. Also, taxes in Italy are also high, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to stay long term. And then there is the language barrier. While in tourist area you might find people who speak English, most Italians don't speak it well. You will need to know at least few words in Italian to get by, and be aware that the language is full of regional dialect. So brush up on some basic phrases before coming here. Italians love talking about food. It's a huge part of their culture, and while it's lovely, sometimes it feels like every conversation revolves around food. It's not a bad thing, but it's something I wasn't used to after living in the UK. Many conversations stay at a superficial level, and it can be hard to engage in deeper dialogue with the majority. One last thing, if you're planning to renting an apartment, never give money in advance unless you've actually seen the place. Scams happen and you don't want to lose money to something that doesn't exist. But there is a lot to love about Italy. Now, I know I've talked about the challenges, but let's get into the good stuff, because Italy does have a lot going for it. Family, for example, it's a huge thing here. Sundays are for family reunions, and lunch can go on for hours. It's not just about eating, it's about spending quality time together. It's heartwarming to see how much Italians value this family tradition. On Sunday lunchtime, in some places the streets are nearly empty, and all you can hear are people chatting inside their homes. The clinking of cutlery and the aroma of the home-cooked food filling the air. The weather! I miss the Italian sunshine. It's warm, sunny, and the good weather really lifts your spirit. Plus, Italy has some of the most beautiful seaside spots in the world. Whether you are in the north or in the south, there is always a stunning beach or coastal town to explore. And, of course, I have to mention the food. Yes, Italians talk about it a lot. Did I say it already? But for good reason. The food here is incredible. Fresh vegetables, locally made olive oil, delicious wine. It's a food lover's paradise. Even though I'm not someone who eats pasta every day, the variety of second course is also fantastic. Once more, the lovely thing is the little courtesy in smaller town. People still say buongiorno or buon pomeriggio when they walk into a shop or pass you on the street. It's a small gesture, but it adds a friendly community feel to everyday life. Another amazing thing about Italy is the incredible variety of landscape. From the rolling hills of Tuscany to the stunning beaches along the coast to the rugged mountains of the Alps, Italy offers just about every kind of scenery you could imagine. And the best part? Everything is so close. You can drive just a couple of hours and find yourself in a completely different environment. One day you could be exploring forest, and the next relaxing sunny Mediterranean beach. Finally, final thoughts. So to sum it up, living in Italy after 8 years in the UK has been a big adjustment for me, but it's also a rewarding experience. There are definitely some things that take getting used to, like the bureaucracy, but there is also much beauty here: the food, the weather, the sense of family, and the unique way of life. I'm still finding my way, rediscovering Italy with fresh eyes and making the most of this new chapter. Some days feels like an exciting chance to embrace something new, while others can be a struggle to adjust. There is still so much to uncover, countless experiences waiting, and I know I've only just begun. This journey is far from over, and I'm curious to see where it leads me next. If you ever thought about moving to Italy, or you have already made the jump yourself, I would love to hear about your experience. What's been your biggest culture shock? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of my journey. There is so much more to come. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. Love you.